My name is Brian, and I'm here with my brother Shane, my partner and my brother.
Man, that Link intro music always does it for me.
I know, I wish I had a better way of controlling it, but
Man, I love that.
now that we're doing it live, it's not as polished as it was when we were creating the video and putting it up, but I think it's better.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to be
Man, I
live so
love
people
that.
can hear us make mistakes.
Yeah, like what I just did, apparently. Okay, so on that note, if you guys are seeing this video, I'm pretty sure you know what we're about to talk about.
That's right, it's spoiler time for Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad!
We just got back from watching the premiere.
Oh,
We saw the very first possible showing.
yes, we saw the absolute very first showing. And I got to say, a quick response to it, right? Just in case you're in the video and you're like, I don't want to get through 30 minutes. I want to hear what the guys say now. For the most part, I liked it.
Go see it.
Yeah, it's worth the money.
It has entertainment value.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of likable characters. There are certainly problems, but I don't think there are enough problems to warrant some of the criticism it has gotten.
Yeah, I think the 30 on Rotten Tomatoes is
That's ridiculous. Number.
brutal. I don't
Brutal.
I don't know how they could do that. I almost feel like
it's like they're grading them on a weird, messed up curve that doesn't belong.
Yeah, well, they automatically get deducted 20 points for not being
Marvel. Yeah.
You know,
Oh, you're not Marvel? Oh,
it's not Marvel.
Whoa.
Yeah, minus 20 points.
it's almost like from now on, when I see a DC movie critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm gonna automatically add 20 points. And by that math, BVS got 96%.
Is that how that works?
Yeah,
Well, that's a good way to do it.
because I loved BVS, and I loved I liked even more the unlimited version of that came out.
And what's great about this, yeah, I know you're going to talk about the unlimited version, but what's great about this movie is they tie into BVS.
Yeah, it ties
And I love that it
Oh,
did
and it
that.
ties in perfectly.
Yeah, it does.
You know, when they first announced
You
Suicide
needed this
Squad-
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they first announced Suicide Squad, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea, but like, if Suicide Squad universe is connected to the Superman or Batman universes, then why do they even need the Suicide Squad?
Yeah, what was the point?
But with the current, with what happened in BVS, with the death of Superman, because by the way, spoilers, okay?
Yeah, it's all spoilers.
If the giant title doesn't tell you it's spoilers, I'm telling you now, it's spoilers. With the death of Superman, there's a power vacuum.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a power vacuum that not even the Flash or Batman, like, they're not powered enough. There's no super team set up yet to deal with this kind of stuff.
Right.
So the government's like, hey, we got to get a super team in place, and the only super team we have that we have leverage over, that we can force to do our will, are the ones that are in prison right now.
And, you know, for those of you going to see it, you know, you'll see the tie-in immediately. I mean, this takes place right after BVS.
Yeah, literally right after.
I mean, they're still burying Superman.
Yeah, they have a
in some of
scene
this.
where they're burying Superman. Yeah,
Right,
it's crazy. Overall, I like the movie. A lot of very entertaining things happen. A lot of very, extremely entertaining characters. I like how they somehow managed to make you like the majority of the characters when it's a 12-person ensemble movie. You
Right.
know,
With three or four standouts.
Right. But the fact that they have, I don't know, 12 is too many. Like, I think it's 7 or 8.
Right. You got to include the prison guard too. He actually.
Oh
played a
yeah,
role.
he had a huge part.
Yeah.
So they have like eight people in there that they want you to know about and focus on and care about to a degree. And they somehow managed to do that for the most part. A couple of characters you probably won't care about at all.
Yeah.
And it's okay because those characters might just be straight up cannon fodder. Like, their purpose was to do this, and you're not going to see them in future movies, and that's okay.
Yeah, they could afford to cut some fat.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the fat real quick.
Can we give Viola Davis?
Oh,
Okay, good job, Viola.
kudos.
Hey, you know, already an
Kudos.
A-list actress,
Yeah.
already a great actress. She nails this.
Oh, she nails it.
Nails the role.
You know, the crazy part is, at first I was like, she's not evil enough. And right when I'm thinking that, she straight up plugs 6 people.
Oh my gosh, dude, was that crazy or what?
Yeah.
You didn't
like,
see it coming.
Her assistants, people working for her, they're like, she just plugs them. She just shoots them.
Well, I kept wondering why they kept having all these one-liners from people who aren't even in the movie, people working on computers in the background. And what they were doing was they were building a relationship. So later on, when she kills him, it means something.
You feel something, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, why is she talking? What they
Yeah,
paid
for
her
a
for
minute
that?
there, I thought maybe that woman that's working on the computer next to her, she must have some kind of connection from the movie coming forward. Sort of like in Man of Steel, that one like junior lieutenant she's actually like the Green Lantern's
Right, yeah.
girlfriend in the Green Lantern movie or something. I thought there was some kind of connection.
Something was going to happen because nobody speaks in these movies if they don't have a purpose.
Yeah.
And her purpose was to die, and for us to be
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
So it's crazy. I was thinking, I'm like, this woman's not evil enough because Amanda Waller, she's a straight up gangster.
yeah.
And in the
And he calls her
it's
that,
funny
too.
he calls, in the comic books, in the animated shows, and Amanda Waller's this is the kind of gangster she is. You're lucky if she's on your side, gangster.
Yes, yeah.
She is an American nationalist patriot to the bone, and she will kill, and she will make someone bleed to keep the stripes red, no matter what it takes.
Right.
And her actions and the way she goes about that are is villainous. And to her, it doesn't matter because the
Ends justify the means.
yeah, justify the means. Thank you. And I wasn't seeing that at first, but then she shoots all those people in
Right.
front of her two subordinates, right?
Right, yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, what's the problem?" And he goes, "I'm not judging you." She goes, "They didn't have clearance."
She's like, they didn't have clearance.
She
yeah.
shot them because they didn't have clearance. What?
They didn't have a need to know. Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, and
That
that's
was
when
hardcore.
Deadshot's like, "Yeah, you are a gangster."
Yeah. She goes, that was gangster.
That was gangster.
Yeah, that was good.
So even Deadshot, the guy who can shoot anything, never misses, is afraid of Amanda Waller.
Amazing.
That's something. So I loved Amanda Waller. I liked Will Smith a lot. Will Smith
And
did great.
Will was great in this movie.
Did great. You know what it felt like? It felt like Will Smith from 8 years ago.
Thank you. I was thinking the same. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's back.
He's back.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it was-
you got good Will Smith.
It was
Yeah.
Independence Day Will Smith. It was those. It was.
Yes.
It was the good year Will Smith, not the overacting.
Yeah, not After
the
Earth.
Academy Award, grab Will Smith, because he's done a few movies now where he's just like begging for that Oscar.
Yeah.
And this movie was not. This movie was straight up Will Smith being Will Smith and loving it. And when there had to be a line that put an exclamation point, put a punctuation on something, he delivered it.
It was either him or it was Margaret.
Or
One
it
of
was
those
Margaret
two.
Robbie, yeah. One of those two delivered that line that just buttoned up
Every time.
that story perfectly. And I loved it. And I loved Margaret Robbie too. On Margaret Robbie, she was fantastic. I can no longer see anybody as playing Harley Quinn but her.
I don't think it would be.
I don't
would
see,
work.
I don't
Yeah, it
see how
wouldn't.
you can have a Harley Quinn that's not Margaret Robbie. And by the way, here's another thing Will Smith did. The comic book character was white.
Oh, Deadshot.
The Deadshot comic character was white.
Okay.
And anybody that complained about him being Will Smith being black and playing that character is an idiot
Well, I don't even know how they could.
because he blew that role away.
Oh,
he was
he was
Deadshot extra. He was the guy that's like, I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I don't know.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
You're not supposed to know. It's like I like him, but he might actually be a bad dude.
Yeah, he's.
Maybe
I mean,
he
they're
might be a
all
good
bad.
guy that does bad things. He might be a bad guy that does good things, and I don't know. And that's the point.
Well, they've all had lives.
Right.
They're all bad in their own way, but they also, you can see that kind of glimmer of good.
Right.
That every person potentially have, and that's what a true character, always has. There's always an element of good and bad. But what they did great in this movie was they made the good guys seem kind of bad, and
Yeah.
they made the bad guys seem kind of good.
That's true. Yeah.
So, but when you said Margaret Robbie about the not seeing anybody else as Harley Quinn, we said the same thing about Jack Nicholson when he was the first Joker, and
Right.
now we've had several Jokers, and so Jared Leto, huh?
Yeah. So, okay. So on to Jerry Leto. I'm sorry, Jack Nicholson. You're right. I remember watching Jack Nicholson when I was a kid because you watched it when you were like a young adult, right?
Yeah,
I remember going,
teenager. Yeah.
not knowing anything about Joker at the time. I was like, yeah, that's Joker. I love the role, and that actually made me compare every Joker going forward to Jack Nicholson
Right.
because I had never seen the Joker from the 50s. I had never read a comic book. I had never seen animated anything. And then going forward, you had Mark Hamill voicing Joker, and you had various people in the animated show do him, and the different takes in the comic book, but it all said, compare it to Jack Nicholson, because Jack Nicholson, for me, was Joker.
Right.
And then Heath Ledger came along.
Oh, and then it was Heath Ledger, yeah.
And Heath Ledger took that role and elevated it beyond where I thought it can go.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say right now that as good as Jared Leto is, it's still not Heath Ledger.
Right.
level.
On that
Yeah.
note, I liked Jared Leto.
I did,
This
yeah.
is a different
It's a
Joker.
different Joker.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you watch this movie, don't compare Jared Leto to Heath Ledger's Joker. One is a straight-up terrorist nut job, and one's sort of a gangster nut job.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of a, yeah.
You know, the Heath Ledger version was like insane and terroristic, and it wasn't about monetary gain. It was about just terrorizing.
Well, he was a monster.
Right, he was a monster.
He was a monster.
Right.
This character is more like you said, I think like a gangster.
Right.
Yeah.
Jared Leto's Joker would not have lit the pile of money on fire that Heath Ledger's Joker did.
Right, exactly.
Like, Heath Ledger's character lit that thing on fire, not caring.
Yeah, he didn't care.
Jared Leto's character Joker would not have done that. He cares about money.
Yeah, Jared Leto's Joker, you can tell there's a clock going on back there. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, he's masterminding something.
He didn't want to jump into the barrel
Right.
behind Harley Quinn.
Right.
He did because they wanted to show that he really loves her.
Right.
But
he thought about it.
he
for a
thought
minute.
about it. He's like, I don't really want to go back into that stuff. I mean, that's a different Joker.
Right.
So, and you don't see as much of him. If you're expecting a lot of Joker in this movie, you're not going to get
Oh
it.
yeah, it's not a lot of Joker. So on that note, though, I think that I like this evolution. I'm not saying it's better than Heath Ledger, because Heath Ledger's it's not better. Heath Ledger, but it's definitely different.
I'm okay with it.
And it's different, and I like this direction because I feel like with Heath Ledger's Joker, it's great, but there's nowhere where to go with that Joker. You can't. I mean, to elevate that Joker, it'd be him blowing up 3 buildings instead of 1.
There's no character development.
Yeah.
He arrived at its peak.
Right.
There's no growth.
Right, there's no growth. But with
Yeah.
this Joker, you're gonna be able to see things.
There's something coming.
There's something coming. Yeah, there's an evolution. There's this manipulative nature.
There's going to be a Harley Quinn standalone
Right.
movie. So
Yeah, they're talking about Harley Quinn standalone. We're going to see Joker. Joker's going to be in the next Batman standalone, which is, I think he's going to be the main villain, I'm hoping.
I would think so.
And I think that his performance was good enough to warrant him as the main villain in the next standalone. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but after this, I think that the studio's like, yeah, okay, that's... I know we've seen a bunch of Joker Batman movies,
Yeah, well, I mean we have.
but they're good. So
Yeah, why not keep bringing
why
it back?
not,
He is the number
He's the
one
guy, yeah.
villain for Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's the one who can foil Batman the most.
right, and just like he is to Batman, like Lex Luthor is to Superman.
Exactly.
So it's okay to keep bringing him back into stuff.
Just a little scarier than Lex Luthor.
It's a little scary, yeah. Like Lex Luthor is like super intelligent, scary on that level. Like he's obviously thinking 5 steps ahead of him. He's playing 3D chess.
Right.
Joker is like, it's not that Lex Luthor has any kind of goodness in him that he would save you from being good, but if you might be able to convince Lex Luthor not to kill you because it's profitable or it's good for him. But I think if Joker wanted to kill you, he would just kill you.
Well, I love what you said about the 3D chess. So if Lex Luthor is 3D chess, the Joker is you're afraid he's going to knock all the pieces off the board.
Right, exactly.
You know, and that's kind of
It's
what
like
you get there.
it's like chaos intelligence.
Yeah,
Like,
it's really scary.
there's no way to rein that in. you
So
know?
what about? So let's give them a synopsis so that they get an idea what the movie's about. If
Yeah.
you want to hear it.
So Superman dies. You want to give it or?
No, you're doing
Okay,
good.
yeah, Superman dies obviously in BBS. They bring that up in the movie. They show part of that Bruno, and Amanda Waller is campaigning, lobbying, if you will.
Viola Davis. Yep.
Viola Davis, yeah. Her character is Amanda Waller, and she is some like higher up spook, right? Some like CIA something, NSA something, right?
Right.
Some kind of like, Men in Black government level.
And they're worried about her a
Right.
little bit because they're like, "What are you trying to do here?
What do you want,
for these
Amanda?
crazy programs you're doing.
What do you
yeah.
want, Amanda?
No,
Right.
they're like, no, we're not doing it.
Hey,
you
even
know?
the government doesn't quite trust Amanda because she's
Exactly.
always up to something that may or may not be no good.
That was a good little signal there in the beginning.
Yeah. And so what happens is, she has this plan to take a bunch of bad people.
They call it Project X.
extremely dangerous people, whether they're metahumans or they're just very, very skilled, whatever,
Right.
that she has leverage over. She wants to create this team of people that she has leverage over and force them to do her will. And in this situation, her will would be saving, the planet or whatever.
Right.
Or maybe it could be them. She wants them to blow up a Chinese diplomat. Whatever.
It doesn't matter. Whatever will
Right.
make America better. Will
Right.
protect America.
Serve America.
Right. Superman's gone. We need to protect
Right.
America.
And so her example was, what if Superman came down to the Oval Office, took the roof off, and took the president? What would we do?
Well, that was that. And that wasn't even hers. That was the guy.
Right.
I'm not even sure who that character was.
That was the guy she was talking to in the restaurant that is now lobbying on her behalf.
I got it. So he was. He was.
So
a
it
benefactor.
shows her manipulation.
Advocate.
She has to set someone up to get their support before she even goes into the big meeting.
Gotcha. That was him. Okay.
Right? And that's a good question. What would the government? They wouldn't do anything. Superman, if Superman was a bad guy, he could do whatever he wanted to.
Yeah.
And what Amanda's saying is, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah. We're gonna use what we have to stop. it.
Right. Luckily, this time Superman she goes. I don't have a problem with the meta part. I have a problem with the human part.
Yeah. That's right.
I love that because Superman wasn't human, so luckily he had a conscience.
Yeah,
She
that's
doesn't
true.
trust the fellow humans. And so she has a problem with metahumans. Now that Superman's gone, he's not around to protect them. She's worried that any crazy nut job metahuman can do the same thing, and there's nothing to do. So she wants to set up a silver bullet, if you will, a team that can stop that or fix that or correct that or whatever before it happens or while it's happening, whatever. A team that can combat that.
And she decided to put a bunch of these metahumans on a leash, basically.
Right, and they're not all metahumans. Deadshot is not a metahuman.
Yeah, you're right.
He's
Although
just
he took a couple good hits there. I was surprised.
He's just extremely skilled,
Okay.
and he has body armor.
Okay. Yeah.
Rick Flag, not a metahuman.
And we'll talk about he was probably one of the worst parts of this movie. But
He was like whatever, yeah.
yeah.
He was like, meh.
Yeah, I want to talk about it more, not right now, but
Right, okay.
I want to talk
He's
about
just
it.
a good soldier. Harley Quinn is not a metahuman.
No, you're right.
She's just a crazy person that's obviously skilled at whatever the hell she's doing, fighting or whatever.
Well, since they've been dipped in acid, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're. Oh no, she is a little bit of metahuman because she's got Poison Ivy's tolerance
Nope.
for
Poison
the original
Ivy's not in
character.
the movie.
No, I know, but if you're going back to the comic book character,
Oh no, Poison Ivy is a different character.
I know, but she studies under Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy gives her resistance to poisons.
Well, I don't. Maybe. I don't even know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go there on you.
Yeah,
but
I don't even know what that's from. I never
so
heard
that's
that.
that's actually the character. She's a psychiatrist, Harley Quinn. She falls in love with the Joker, but through a lot of the comic books and the movie or the cartoons, she actually ends up as a sidekick also for Poison Ivy.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
yeah, not in this movie.
In
by
this
the way.
movie, she is not a metahuman.
she's pretty bad though.
She's a bad person.
I mean, she kicks butt.
Yeah, she kicks butt, and she's psychotic. Joker made her psychotic, and I'm not really sure what else there is special about her, if she's crazy. But Captain Boomerang is not a metahuman.
Yeah, you're right. I guess there's more non-metahumans than there are actually.
Captain Boomerang is skilled with boomerangs, and he's a master tactician, I guess, because he planned a bunch of heists, and they have him along for the ride. Let's see, who else? The guy that dies, like, immediately, the Indian fellow,
I'm not even. Yeah, I don't know who was that.
wasn't a metahuman. He was a tracker. He was a tracker. They hired him as a tracker, basically. He died instantly.
Katana wasn't a metahuman.
Yeah, but she had a magic sword.
But she had a magic sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that sword was pretty cool.
So the Croc, I guess the Croc is a
Croc
metahuman.
and the Croc is a metahuman. Technically metahuman, considering he's a mutation.
Okay.
The only real metahuman on the team, actually, is the Fire Homie.
Is Diablo.
Diablo. Oh, Diablo. Yeah, Fire Homie.
Fire Homie. Well, it comes across that way.
Yeah. Yeah, so a bunch of bad dudes and a bunch of bad people, and a couple of them are metahuman, basically.
Okay.
So, I mean, either way, it's still, I mean, either way, even if Deadshot's not metahuman, having that amount of skill, pretty impressive.
His skill level is basically metahuman level.
Yeah, it's like supernatural, yeah.
There's the scene where he shoots like 6 or 7 guns and shoots in the same hole the whole time.
Perfectly.
I mean, that's unhuman.
Yeah.
So
So that's her plan. So she sets it up. Now, they activate the team because the Enchantress, which was her other metahuman she thought she had on a leash.
that's not a metahuman.
or she's a witch, right?
She's like a spirit, or
spirit
something from another
dimension,
dimension. Yeah, she's not even
1,000
human.
years ago.
They used to rule humans apparently. Oh, we'll get there, I guess.
Yeah. Anyways, someone she thought she had on a leash was this other very strong quote unquote metahuman that gets off her leash and starts causing havoc. So it's funny how the program she's creating actually creates the first problem the program deals with.
She looks like a character off The Conjuring or something. It was it's kind of weird.
Some crazy. I mean, some really cool graphics went in there, but and then basically they tell them, yeah, we're gonna go in and stop this terrorist attack. And Deadpool's like, yeah, what's up with the ring of trash? It's not a terrorist attack. They figured out that's not a terrorist attack. They're rescuing Amanda Waller. Now they have to go save the world. Cool. And that's the synopsis. And there's a lot of stuff that happens in between, and a lot of obviously, friends. These bad people are sort of finding a home with like-minded people that are treated the same way by society and have done some of the same bad things and understand each other. And that's a really cool side of it, seeing the relationships sort of start to click.
Yeah, that was
tentative relationship.
It felt natural.
Right, between Harley and Deadshot, and even Captain Boomerang, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
You start to see him like, oh, when they're like, you guys can leave if you want, he leaves immediately.
Yeah,
which was great. I love that.
That was great. He's like, I'm gone.
And then when they're walking through, he's like, screw it.
I'm back.
I guess I'm going with you guys.
Yeah.
And he's not even. There's not even much for him to offer. That's the crazy part.
Not really. Yeah. I mean,
he killed some of those guys, and
I mean, he's
some
they used his camera off of his boomerang to see what was going on, so it was kind of neat.
Yeah, and that was really cool. I like to see him like he's also very smart. He's a smart dude.
Yeah, he couldn't knock off all those heists without being pretty smart.
Right. So I like how they showed that there was some intelligence there, not just a witty dude that's in the unicorns or whatever.
Which that was funny. So there were some funny things. So you will find, what they did? They kept him mostly out of the trailers.
Right.
And so, and now we're going to go ahead and tell you one of the bad things about this movie.
Yeah.
Is one of the good things? One of the things that's going to get you to the theater is the movie the trailers.
Yeah.
The trailers were great. They were so good that it gets you to the movies. But here's what's going to happen. Those jokes are probably going to fall flat in the theater because when we watched it, most of them did not get a lot of laughs if it was in the trailer.
Yeah.
A couple of chuckles, but it did feel like, I already heard that.
Yeah.
And not all the jokes are in the trailers. There are things, and there are some things that were in the trailer that was not in the movie.
Yes.
I was waiting for the scene where they're at the bar.
No.
And he orders water, and she's like, babe, that's a good thing.
That's a good idea, honey.
That's a good idea, honey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that one. It didn't happen.
That out.
They cut it.
In fact, apparently they cut out a big chunk of that bar scene.
Oh, really?
And it makes sense because that bar scene, I had so much potential that I feel was cut really short, and I felt that way watching it. Like something's wrong about this bar scene. Like they're connecting on some kind of level, right?
Yeah, it was getting deep. They were actually. This is where they connected.
Right, and then it cuts short, and you see, it wasn't cut short. The studio cut the bar scene very short.
Okay, so that's important.
They didn't see a point. They didn't see how it was driving the narrative, and they wanted to save time. They said this.
Well, the fans need to understand this. So you were talking about the director's cut and the studio cut. So kind of give that story.
So the critics that reviewed this over Twitter a few months ago, they said it was great. It was perfect. They loved it. They loved the characters. It's a great place for DC. The DC extended universe is still alive. It's up and kicking. Suicide Squad is going to save the day. Same people that were giving BVS bad reviews were praising Suicide Squad,
right?
Which is huge.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Not all the same people, but the people on that reviewed it a few months ago. Now, you can go back and compare their tweets to their tweets now, and it's pretty conflicting. And what happened was, the people that saw it a few months ago that were reviewing it, that were allowed to give micro reviews, right?
Right.
They saw the director's cut, the cut that the team that created the movie put together. The cut that is 46 minutes longer.
Yeah.
Right? I understand that's still pretty long. You got to cut something down, but obviously that was the cut that here's the cut we have right now. Well, the studio it's too long. It's not fast enough. We need more lighthearted stuff because BVS because of what the studio did to BVS, basically.
Exactly.
They were worried that the same thing was going to happen with Suicide Squad, so they repeated their own mistake, and they took the movie away from the director and the team. They gave it to the company that made the trailers, which, by the way, the trailers were perfect.
Beautiful.
And which is a company called Trailer Park, and they said, edit this movie and give us a cut that's this long. And they gave them a range.
Which I got to tell you, I normally am really hard on the studios.
Yeah.
But these trailers were so good. It kind of makes sense,
I can see why someone was like, hey, we want it to have the same enjoyment level, but we need it a lot shorter. Let's give it to the guys that kicked butt on the trailer.
Yeah, otherwise the movie would have been 2 hours and 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah, 250 minutes would have been, yeah. The original runtime was 250.
Yeah, they couldn't be that long.
You're right. Well, the problem is they tested both cuts with audiences, and they decided to go with the Trailer Park version. But I don't feel like the guys that made the trailer did a good cut.
I don't know if they could have. The beginning scene where they're doing the introductions and they're doing the backstories is pretty long. And you have to have it because you don't know these characters. And so if you notice in this movie, right in the middle, it gets weird.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, you lose the narrative. And they had a hard time because the end of the movie, guys, is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
The last half of the movie is great.
The last act is good.
But I only felt like there were 2 acts. Well, I guess there were 3, but the second act was garbage.
3 act was sort of like an introduction. The second act was like a in-between interlude or something.
I mean, we still don't have an appreciation. You know where it started going wrong? When Enchantress was starting to get away. Because when Enchantress tricks... I don't know what that was all about. She says the Enchantress's name. Flag pulls out his gun on the Enchantress, and she starts showing him some weird stuff. But what she's really trying to do is get to her brother, which...
No. She was trying to get to her heart to get away, right?
But she couldn't get to it, right?
The light goes off, the alarm or whatever. So she flips into the other room and sees her brother's vial.
It was just way too convenient.
And I gotta say... that's a problem for me.
Yeah.
There's a hole. There's the first hole I'm going to talk about, because if you know she came from a vial and there's a matching vial,
Thank you.
let's lock that sucker up.
Thank you. Well, or something, right?
Something. Lock it up. Something. I don't know. Let's not have it in the bathroom next to in your hotel room.
It was too convenient.
Right.
It was like...
because the heart was locked up.
Yeah.
Why was the other vial not locked up?
And I love that they made it so when she got close to it, it like went beep. Like almost like there was a proximity alarm for it.
Right. I like that.
And that was cool. And then this whole thing where...
Because originally I thought, she's going to beep in there, kill her, and take the heart or something, right?
Right, yeah.
And I was like, too convenient. And then when it went beep, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, that was good. They did
Thank
that.
God they have a plan for the guy, the chick that can teleport places.
So she saves her brother, quote unquote brother, and then finds this guy in a bathroom, jacks him up, and then gets her brother inside of him, where then the brother, 5 minutes later, proceeds to then go into the body and then expel himself out of the body, and he's all now attacking Central City or whatever they're calling it. I mean, what was that about?
So there was no build up for that, but I can tell you what I saw.
Okay.
So he gets in the body, and she's like, when you're strong enough, feed on the humans when you're strong enough.
But he wasn't in there he was still in the subway. I mean, what was he feeding on?
Right, that's why he walks out of the subway, and he has like this convulsion, and he falls on the floor.
Right.
Right, and the cop comes, and the doctor, and they're like trying to like revive him, and he grabs those guys, and he grabs a couple other people, and he's like pulling them into himself, and that's how he's feeding on them. See, they didn't explain that enough.
So he was strong enough to now basically take out a commuter train, and
I think he fed on like 6 people and then took on a commuter train.
it was kind of weird.
I think he ate everybody. I think he ate everybody on the commuter train. And that's what made him very strong.
Yeah,
but they
maybe.
couldn't show that because of the PG-13 rating.
Maybe. Well, they said the P word 3 times.
Oh
For
yeah, they
PG.
did.
I'm like,
That's
PG-13.
That's not considered. That's not even on the list of bad words in movies anymore.
It's not.
No, it's not. That's
Wow.
why you can say shit a bunch of times. But you can't. That's why they didn't say the F word once in that movie.
I would be embarrassed.
One F word is all you're allowed in a movie, right? To keep it PG-13. Once you say it twice, it's R, no matter what.
I mean, I would be embarrassed to sit with my 13-year-old daughter, and and listen to that word be said over and over again. I mean, it was funny. A bunch of adults, you know, it was actually, there were some great lines where that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of like her thing, Harley Quinn. But I kind of thought, wow, I'm supposed to take my family to this weekend. I'm a little bit not sure. So, you know, so take that of note. There are some curse words in there that are kind of uncharacteristic. You know, they're using the female anatomy. So,
Yeah, I guess that's not considered part of the rating system anymore.
All right.
They said SHIT a bunch of times.
Well, you know, YouTube these days, there's no filter on it. So, I mean, they're getting to
yeah,
the
you know
point
what's
where...
crazy is YouTube actually has a filter. It's called the adult rating. So if you cuss, you have to activate that adult rating. I watch a lot of YouTube for research, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Entertainment value mainly. But the videos that have the content warning, mainly those aren't have anything to do with the language. Mainly it has something to do with like nudity or gore or like excessive use of like the F word. But I watch a bunch of videos that have 0 content ratings and they say SHIT, they say all the females, so they say whatever they want.
Wow.
And I think, and they're operating on very similar guidelines that the R/PG-13 rating.
Well, it definitely didn't feel PG-13 to me.
There was no blood.
There
wasn't any blood in the entire movie.
In this day and age, though, of video games where blood is prevalent, all this stuff,
Blood makes it R-rated.
I mean, I understand why, but I'm
And
trying to say on an actual
They
level.
couldn't release it in China if it had blood.
Well, but my actual level of concern as a parent is less about blood,
Right.
and more about character,
Right. Yeah.
and content.
Well, maybe if you're worried about character, taking them to see a bunch of bad guys do something.
Well, I mean, not like Goody Two Shoes character, but
Right.
you know, I mean, I'm okay with a couple of curse words. You know, my
Right.
kids have heard worse when I pound my thumb with a hammer or something.
Well,
But
they wanted that China money, so there was almost no blood in the movie.
yeah, do you know? You love how the army that she's making, Enchantress is making, basically when you hit them, they crumble.
Right.
Like with sand.
Right.
That was interesting.
Like,
I mean,
like vampires and stuff.
they did that for China. I'm
Yeah,
pretty much sure.
that's a total China get right there because China won't allow blood in movies or video games.
Well, you know, they're going to make
In video games, they're not allowed blood.
$500,000 or $1 million in China.
Major developers that make games make a China version that doesn't use blood all the time.
You know what? And I got to say, good for China because
Good,
what do you
yeah.
need the blood for? I mean, honestly, I don't know.
I think in this movie, a little blood would have been good.
Maybe
There wasn't enough.
it didn't kill me because it wasn't there.
No, yeah, but I didn't feel like a ton of fear for some of the characters either.
No, you didn't ever feel like they were really in danger.
Yeah, I mean, a couple times, I suppose. And we know a couple of them died. Fire Homie dies or something, right?
Yeah, that's a good spoiler right there. El Diablo dies.
Yeah, El Diablo dies. You know how many dies?
But I got to tell you, he's got the best. He's got the best like Rocky scene, I guess is what you want to call it. Like how you feel
Yeah.
when you're watching a Rocky movie.
Yeah.
He's got that. All of a sudden, he's going toe to toe with
He
the big
doesn't want
bad
to
guy.
fight. He's being forced along here.
Right.
He doesn't want to be. So, spoiler alert: he kills his family, feels real bad about it, and decides he doesn't want to kill.
Right, he's not going to do it.
Doesn't want to fight. Doesn't want to be a bad dude. He's in prison, and he just refuses to put his hands up. He said the words, "I'd rather die in peace," right? I mean, I'd rather die in peace than live as a weapon.
Right.
Because I'm a man, not a weapon, right?
Yeah, you said yeah.
Which is great.
Honorable.
And made me like that character, actually. And that's why I wish that bar scene was a little longer, because I feel like they got a whole bunch into his backstory. So when he finally opens up and he's like, keep messing with my family, dude,
Yeah.
and he goes after that guy, right? I felt good about it then. I would have felt better about it if they expanded on his character more in the bar scene.
That, though, is the best feeling moment of the movie,
Right.
in my opinion. You will feel the best at that moment because you're like, okay, finally somebody who can take this guy on.
Right.
You know, the bad
And
guy.
he turns into he gets his powers from the devil or something.
Something like that.
He
yeah.
turns into some kind of demon.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
and he goes toe to toe with it. And you know what's crazy is it wasn't like an unlimited amount of power because after he goes toe to toe with him, you can see him starting to get weak. I
Right.
like that too. I don't like heroes that all of a sudden can turn into this godlike creature that can just do whatever they want. I like how he turns into this thing temporarily. He can hold it for a while, and he slowly starts to wither.
I love that too. That
I
was
love
really
it.
great. Yeah, I love
it
that
shows weakness.
there needed to be vulnerability in these characters. These guys are not superheroes.
No, and they clearly don't even know what they're doing half the time.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air in an age of superhero overkill.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about the Flag character. The only thing I liked about Flag's character is that he seemed to be the guy that was like, go do this, do this. He was the brains behind it.
Okay, so let's talk about Joel Kinnaman.
Is that
so
his name?
His name's Joel Kinnaman. He's Colonel Flag, and most of the actors in this movie, actors and actresses, are relatively well-known people.
Sure.
Most of them, or you've seen him before. I've never seen Joel Kinnaman before.
Never seen him once.
No, and I'll tell you what my issue is, and I'm sorry, Joel.
It's not that he did bad.
You didn't do a bad job.
No, he didn't do bad.
But he just doesn't have the charisma
Yeah.
that other people do, and he had more screen time than probably any other character.
Yeah, and I didn't really feel too much for him.
No, I didn't feel.
There was a moment where you're supposed to feel like you're supposed
Sympathy.
To, yeah, sympathy, and there's a moment where you're supposed to hate him.
Yeah.
There's a moment where you were supposed to not like him and then slowly start to like him, which I saw what they were trying to do.
When he was testing them in Belle Reve at the prison,
Right.
I'm like, okay, I'm starting to like this guy.
Yeah,
he's
starting to
having
like him a
some
little
moments
bit.
with Deadshot.
And he had a couple moments where he's obviously fearless, like he doesn't care.
Yeah, because he's his character is this like the greatest American military person,
Yeah, special ops.
special
Yeah,
ops
yeah.
guy. He's like the best of the best.
And I liked the prison guard more than I liked him.
And sadly, the prison guard character,
Prison guard was great.
he was funny.
I don't even know what his name is.
I don't know. He reminds me of Bill Paxton.
I loved him.
Yeah, he was good. And
I loved him. And when he puts the gun on him, bro, Will Smith,
right.
I was like, here it is, right here. This is gonna be good. I was waiting for it, man. What a great character he did.
His,
Great actor.
his name's Ike Barinholtz.
Love that guy. I
And-
want to see him in more stuff.
He's going to be back, and I'll tell you why. Because the Joker said, you're going to be one of my friends, or we're going to be friends.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this character will be
I
back.
think he said he did so well. I think that even if they don't planning on bringing him back, they will.
They will. He's going to be a henchman.
He was so great.
He was good. He's going to be in. I bet anything he's going to be in the Harley Quinn standalone.
I think so too.
That's probably what'll happen.
So I'm sorry. Back to the other guy.
Well, yeah. So back to Colonel Flag, Joel Kinnaman. He's just. It's okay to bring in an actor who really doesn't have a portfolio, but in this case, you're putting him against Will Smith.
Yeah.
And you need to have a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to when Will Smith was young, and you're doing that first Independence Day, and he's got Jeff Goldblum
Yeah,
opposite
so that's
him.
weight. That's
there-
counterbalance.
There's counterbalance. They
Yeah.
tried to counterbalance these characters, and I'm sorry, Joel, you were vanilla, bro.
Margot and Will Smith perfectly counterbalanced.
Oh my gosh,
Right? Perfect. But he
They
wasn't.
didn't-
Imagine. You know what I thought the entire movie? I was like, God, I wish we had Kevin Costner, circa 1991, playing this character right now.
Perfect. Yeah, somebody coming right out of one of his first movies.
They could be. He can be quiet. He can be one of those quiet,
I'd be okay with that.
badass dudes, and I'm cool with that. He doesn't have to be like He doesn't have to be Will Smith, one-liner guy.
You know what I would have liked to
But it
see?
has to have some kind of presence, some kind of weight.
Some sort. So Scott Eastwood was in this movie.
Right.
So Clint Eastwood's son. He's been in a few of his movies, and he's in this
was
movie.
in the movie?
Yeah. Okay. So funny. He's got a headline name on the top. You know who he
What?
was? He was the assistant to Colonel Flag. He was that
Oh.
guy he kept telling, "Go do this. Take your men over here. Do that."
Really?
That was him.
Wow. Because you know what? Joker's assistant was good too.
Exactly. Either one of those two guys probably could have played Colonel Flag
Dude,
better.
when Joker's assistant has the minigun on that
Yeah,
plane,
he was killing it, dude.
I was like, I like this guy. I
He-
know he's a bad guy, but I like him.
Well, and he came in like kind of unscared with Joker was laying on the floor.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey,
Yo, man."
I'm just letting you know what we got to do." Yeah, I mean, he was good.
Like, he has no fear. He's talking to like one of the scariest dudes on the planet.
Yeah, I remember he was telling the guy when they had him in the back scene, the guy from the prison
Oh,
guard.
right.
He's telling him, "You need to be quiet.
Yeah, you really need to be
You
quiet.
just need to be quiet." Yeah.
Right, because he
Yeah.
was like, he kept, what's up, Batman? What's going on, bro?
Yeah.
Whatever. He's like, you really need to be quiet.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, I'm looking out for you, dude. He's walking up to you.
so that was a bad casting move, and it was almost bad enough to mess up the movie for me. I mean, it was to the point where it didn't because
the
Will
other
Smith,
characters were so
Margaret
strong.
Robbie, Jared Leto, they
And
did such a good
I
job.
gotta say, with some of the plot holes and some of the messy narrative and some of the bad casting, the characters, Will Smith, Margot Robbie, Viola Davis, the assistant we just talked about, don't know his name. These characters, even Chai, whatever his name is, Boomerang guy.
Yeah, he did good. Yeah.
Like, and by the way, I was not expecting him to be good because that actor has been historically bad.
It's Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney.
Yeah.
They were so good that even with those problems, they outshine those issues.
They did, yeah.
They really make the movie worth the ticket price.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it's absolutely worth going to.
It was like, can it be called Suicide Squad? Saved by Margot Robbie and Will Smith, because like those two actors, along with others, but those like just stole the show. Viola Davis, perfect Amanda Waller.
She did such a great job.
No one can ever play that role, and that character is like the evil version of Iron Man in Marvel, because it's a character that's going to be in every movie going forward as pulling strings per person.
Yeah, exactly.
So to talk about casting a perfect person for that role, a person who's in that role is going to be in a lot of movies going forward. You needed someone strong there. If it was a weak actor, it would have been bad. You would have pigeonholed yourself into not being able to use Amanda Waller's character, which is not an option. Like when you're making Justice League movies, like you need that character. That character is too important.
She's going to be great. I mean, you got Samuel L. Jackson for the Avengers.
Love the Flash cameo.
You've got what's that again?
I love the Flash cameo.
Oh, that was great.
I was not expecting
unexpected,
that.
right?
It was great, dude.
Why have I seen Flash like everywhere lately?
I know.
Right? He's like everywhere. He's in like every movie.
It was a great cameo.
It was really
great. He pops in, and I'm like, whoa, and the suit looks sick, and I was like, oh my.
He captures Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
He's the one who captures.
Which is great because Captain Boomerang, back in the day in the comic books, he's the guy that gets him all the time. Is the Flash?
Is it really?
In the comic books, Captain Boomerang is a Flash villain.
Oh, that's great.
He's not attached to any other franchise.
That's great. That makes sense then.
So when I heard he was going to be in Suicide Squad, I'm like, if they haven't introduced the Flash, because he is part of the rogue villain Flash comic books.
Right.
He's not a part of any other comic book.
Well, and that's why DC's doing such a good job.
I love how Batman captured these people too.
Well, he captured Deadshot, and he captured
and Deadshot,
Harley Quinn.
And Deadshot is a villain who's attached to both Batman and, wait for it, the Flash.
Really? Okay.
Perfect.
Well, the universe, you know what DC's doing really well? They're tidying up their universe really well.
I feel like they're doing better at that than Marvel did.
Oh, absolutely. Marvel's all over the place.
Marvel's universe is cool, but it's like really scattered.
Yeah, there's a lot happening.
Yeah, DC owns everything. Marvel, some of its stuff is owned by this guy, some of it is owned by these people. They own rights to these things, but not those things. This TV rights,
and they're not going crazy with it. They're gently introducing things. They're making it
feels easier.
It feels good. And without this movie, and let me tell you guys, stay to the end.
Oh yeah, the end credit's great.
The end credit's great. I don't even know if I want to tell them.
Oh, I don't want to, but I want to talk about it so bad.
Well, let's talk about it because it's a spoiler review.
Okay, yeah, spoiler. Look, when she goes, oh, be careful on your nighttime activities.
Oh yeah.
Like she knows he's Batman.
Right.
And he's like, well, maybe you should shut down your projects before me and my friends come after you.
Oh my! And so if you guys don't know,
it wasn't even a veiled threat. It was a straight up threat.
And they look like they were doing something together.
Yeah.
Before that.
No, they were doing business.
Okay, so you guys, if you stay till the end, go through the credits. You get to the end, and you get a scene between Ben Affleck and Viola Davis, and they're sitting there, and he's his Bruce Wayne, and she's Amanda
having a cordial dinner.
Yeah, they're having dinner, and she got him. She said, "Okay, I'm doing this for you, this thing."
But you got to cover me on what happened in Central City.
On Central City, he goes, "You're under my protection."
Basically, he's going to grease the wheels and make sure that people that want to know about what happened there don't bother looking.
Right.
Which is fine. He's a powerful, rich man.
It's Bruce Wayne.
Gotcha. But in return...
So, yeah, go ahead and tell him what she gives him.
In return, she hands him the file with all the metahumans.
All the metahumans.
It starts with Enchantress. I'm like... Why Enchantress? Then when they flip it, I'm like, oh, there's Aquaman.
There's the Flash.
And there's the connection.
Yeah, and that's the connection we needed.
Right.
We couldn't figure out how Batman was going to go find all these people.
Right. And bro, when they were talking about BVS, one of the criticisms was, how does he even know about all these metahumans? Remember that?
There you go. This is how.
How does he even know? How does Lex Luthor even know? How did he get all those files? Now we know. Yeah. They button it up in Suicide Squad. They're like, hey, The government's been investigating these people for years.
They already know.
Here's the files.
DC's like, hold on, guys. Do we have to tell the whole story right now, or
okay,
can we just go ahead and
be
do it right?
patient.
Yeah, just
Be
wait for the
patient.
answers, people.
That's what I'm saying. The critics criticize these movies so hard. That was a plot hole. I don't even know what happened here. Maybe you're not supposed to know yet.
Not yet. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that plot hole is only a hole right now. But remember, these movies, this is hopefully, I'm praying that the critics don't ruin it for us. This might be a 10-run movie series. There might be 10 movies.
There could be.
Between Batman, Superman, Suicide Squad, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. There might be a huge universe rich with information and amazing characters that we're waiting for. And to complain about things you don't know about or a plot hole or lack of character development doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there were problems here with the Enchantress character and her brother. I mean, that whole thing was a mess. But overall, the movie wins.
Yeah,
you know,
no, I applaud the fact that you were able to get me to like 4 of the 8 characters you introduced.
Yeah, I absolutely
Considering
feel that way.
There are movies where there is one character and I don't care for him.
Yeah, no, I mean, characters like the Croc, I mean...
Yeah, whatever. He's
you know,
throwaway.
I couldn't understand what he was saying half the time. He had a couple
he's
of
so hard to
he had a
understand.
couple of funny one-liners.
Mainly his looks. Like when he looks at someone like has a smile on his
Yeah,
face.
it's his look, and he did say when Viola Davis walked by him, he's like, "I like her."
Yeah,
So
that was,
that was
cool.
kind of funny.
When he's like, I live in the water, remember that?
Yeah,
I feel like that line could have been delivered so much better.
that was bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
when he said, "I live in the water, you're just tourists," and he's telling Navy SEALs this. Those were Navy SEAls,
Right. No, it's a cool line.
but it wasn't delivered right, or something
Right.
was wrong.
Like the way when
It felt
I
weird.
think the writer writes it and goes, "That's a cool line for a character that not being used very much."
Right.
But it wasn't delivered right.
I think it's
It
because
should have been like, "I live in the water, you're just tourists," something. But he was
Yeah.
like, "I live in the water, dirt."
That was pretty good, actually.
But like imagine if it was like, "No, I'm going with you. It's not an option." Why? Because I live in the water. You're just tourist.
Oh my gosh, you're the Croc in the next movie.
That would have been cool. But instead, this is what I got. I'm going with another option. And they're like, why? He goes, to do it. That's what. And then he skitters off into the water. All like crazy. Like, why didn't he just dive into the water? Why did he first have to get on the ground on all fours and then skitter like a crab?
He had to look like a crocodile, I guess, man.
Like I understand that, but
Right.
why not just have the humanoid croc jump into the water like a regular person?
I don't know.
The most efficient way of jumping into the water is jumping into the
Just
water.
jumping into the water, right?
It's not
slithering
like
in.
slithering into the water.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to show. But you know, it's funny.
And I think all that makeup messed him up. They should have done ADM. They should have had the audio done after
Yes,
the fact.
I totally agree.
It's clear that they tried to make his voice look like it was coming out of that face,
It was a bad idea.
but it was a bad idea.
Yeah, it didn't work.
The editing guys should have put less reverb on that thing. Should have bumped up the
They
treble
needed
or
some
something.
subtitles down there on when he was talking, man. It was pretty tough. And
Or
but at
maybe,
the end, he's like,
how about this? Maybe have him talking another language. What if he was speaking a different language?
"Oh, okay, maybe the language of Crocs."
That would have been cool.
And then you have
I
some
don't know.
subtitles. Well, what's funny is at the end they're all requesting what they want in prison, right? And he's like, "I want BET."
Oh, yeah.
in his room or in his cell or whatever.
Yeah, by
and
the
I was like, Taylor turned to me and he's like, "What did he just say?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I barely caught it too.
I
It was
didn't get it
BET.
either until the end when I actually saw
You saw
like,
the booties on the TV.
the twerking
Oh
people.
my gosh.
I think also like they made his character like way too urban.
Well, he's urban. I mean, the actor
I know, bro.
who plays
but,
him
Like, remember he was
is
like, "What's up, bro?"
I don't want to ruin his name here, but it's Adewale Akinui. That's his name. So
Okay,
he's
whatever.
probably African and African American or whatever.
Now I don't care because that character is not important in any way.
No, and you may not even see him
But
down the road.
you could have they could have done better with that character,
Yeah.
and it would have been cool because I like when that character grabs Enchantress by the legs and tosses her away.
Well, he was coming to rescue him. He came out of
Yeah,
the water.
he came out of the water
That
and-
was, dude. That was like his only good moment.
Right, it's the only good moment.
Unfortunately.
was he rescues Margot Robbie, right? He throws her.
They tried to show him sacrificing for the SEALs so they could go and do what they need to do, and he was like taking the bad guys.
Yeah, but see, that was so hard to see.
But it was weird. It was almost like
For a minute there, I thought he was killing the seals. I was like, oh,
Right.
it's not good.
Well, then I thought, the SEALs are like just leaving him hanging and taking off while he's getting his butt kicked, right? I was
Right.
like, oh, this just felt weird, but it
No,
all worked
listen, if
out.
I'm in the water with a guy named Croc, and he's gonna save me, I wouldn't come back from him. I'm just gonna assume he's gonna be okay.
I'm going to be a little nervous just being in the water with him.
Yeah.
If you wanna know. His name's Croc.
So listen, that scene too, it should have been so cool. Him
Killer Croc.
killing things and saving the SEALs while they were trying to do their job.
That could have been much cooler.
But they show like 8 seconds of like this underwater footage that's really hard to make out. That for a minute there, I honestly thought Croc was killing the SEAls.
He's like, forget I'll do it. I thought they were trying to stop him or something.
Yeah,
And
He's
like,
"I'll
he's
do
like,
it
no, I'm
myself.
doing it myself.
I'm just gonna kill you.
I'm going to eat you all.
Yeah, I thought he was killing the SEAls. Why not show like? How about this? How about an underwater scene where it shows like those crazy faceless guys, like swimming at him all fast, and Croc looks at the SEAls, looks at him, and just runs after them.
Yeah, and he whacks him or
Right,
something.
and they go past him as he's like fighting like 4 of these creatures.
That would have been cool.
Instead, it was like this close-up shot where you're seeing like Croc skin hit stabbing. I don't know. It wasn't that the underwater thing was not shot well. That should have been cut out of the movie. Let me tell you
You
something.
could have cut that. Why did that need to be there?
You want to save time? Keep some of the bar scene and cut the underwater crap no one cares about.
They could have cut most of Croc.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it's just because the character, what's his power? I mean, what's his strength? He grabs people and throws them to the ground pretty hard.
Well,
I mean,
luckily there was an underwater thing.
if
that
there
he
was
had
some
to go help
biting
with.
happening, that would have been cool. If he was like biting people,
At first, I was like, it's a little convenient there's water, but I was like, nah, it's not. I'm okay with that.
It's underground.
I
It
didn't
was all
feel
right.
I didn't feel any convenience thing about the underground thing. I was okay with that.
I feel like they did the
Luckily,
whole.
they have a crocodile.
Well, the whole plan to blow up the underneath with that bomb that he left there. I mean, okay, I could see how that could work, but I feel like the only reason they did that is so they could give Croc his moment.
No, I mean it's a. I can see that. Like no, I don't agree with you because remember their plan was to blow that guy up in the first place with this big giant bomb.
Well, only
And
because
Chandris betrays him.
only because it was. Oh, that's true. That was the initial.
So the
intention.
bomb is sitting there. It's,
Okay.
it's not a MacGuffin, but it's sort of MacGuffin.
a little bit, yeah.
Little bit of MacGuffin.
Yeah.
And in a time where every movie has like a major MacGuffin.
Yeah, you got to have something.
I'm okay with a little MacGuffin action.
Yeah, they put it there for a good reason. So.
Yeah. The writing wasn't the problem. I really feel like
No.
the editing. There was problems with the editing, and some of the characters didn't click. But again, overshadowing all of that, or I should say, lighting up all of that, is the amazing performance of Viola Davis,
Viola Davis.
yeah, her, Will Smith, Margot Robbie, I can't believe I'm saying that right now. Whatever his name
Jai
is.
Courtney.
Jai Courtney. Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought I would say that guy did a good job, but he did.
You know, I didn't like him, but
I don't think you're supposed to. He's a weasel.
I mean, well, yeah. So like, I didn't connect with that character, but I do think he played it well.
Right. And Joker's assistant, whenever his name was great. The prison guard was fantastic.
Let me ask you this question:
a couple
so,
standouts,
when the Joker dies, quote unquote,
quote unquote.
right? Nobody believed he was dead, right?
No.
Like, it's totally unbelievable. In fact, I'm still not sure how she ended up out of the back of the thing.
She
and
jumped,
he didn't.
and the plane dipped forward, and he wasn't able to jump out.
I thought he let go of her. It was a weird. That was a really weird edit to me because
It looked like the Joker was like trying to help her. Even.
I wasn't sure if the Joker was just saying bye. Like, you know, he kind of he does that. You know, he's like letting her go or something.
Yeah, I thought that for a minute too, because she takes the Joker thing off.
Right.
I'm thinking like maybe she thinks he was leaving her behind, and that would
Maybe.
it would have been better if he was like, if he had a moment where they argued and he was like, oh, good luck.
We don't know actually if she felt whether he was leaving behind or whether she
No, we
felt he
don't.
was dead.
And we're probably gonna get more of that in the next movie.
That would be nice because at the end he breaks her out, and so
Right.
You know.
Which was cool.
that was a cool way to end the movie.
See, like Joker in this movie is basically on this nonstop hunt to get Harley back.
Yeah, he's completely obsessed with Harley.
That's his only motive. You know, that we see.
right.
He's getting Harley back. And he has obviously considerable amount of resources in order to do it. Because he does it a couple times. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. And I knew Joker wasn't dead.
Yeah, and I mean, of course. Yeah, you were like, I mean, I guess everybody knows he's not going to be dead.
I love that moment though when Deadshot picks up Harley, and you see a connection between those two.
Yeah, they all had a connection. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that the main three characters did. I would say El Diablo,
Yeah.
I would say, Harley
A little
and
bit of
Deadshot.
Boomerang. I think Boomerang had
A
connection
little
there.
bit. I mean, but he more wanted to have a connection with Katana.
Yeah, that's right.
So he.
Well, I actually like Katana's character. I didn't think I was going to like her.
Yeah, I thought so. She kind of ended up becoming a
She
Suicide
did her
Squad.
role. She did what her job was.
She did totally.
And I think her job was going there and be the only good guy amongst a bunch of villains, and she succeeded.
She pulled it off.
Yeah.
And then she ended up liking him, so that was good. We need to give a little shout out to mixtees.com,
Yep.
our sponsor.
You might have seen that card pop up. Our sponsor is mixtees.com. We are presented by mixtees.com and mixtees.com/Suicide Squad. All kinds of great Suicide Squad
Oh,
gear.
kinds of good stuff. If you want to be Daddy's
We're
little
wearing it
monster,
right now.
they got it.
So weird. Shane, big fella, is wearing a Daddy's Little Monster shirt right now.
I am Daddy's little monster.
Yeah, he wore Daddy's Little Monster to the theater. You should have seen some of the looks we got with this guy walking around in the Daddy's Little Monster shirt. It was
Yeah,
great.
some people just wanted to say like cover up the daddy and just have it say little monster, right? The way I was looking.
Yeah, and I got to wear the Belle Reeve. I was happy with that.
Yeah, I think now that people have seen the movie, the Bella Reeve design is going to be a big hit.
Yeah, I think I like it now.
It turned out really
Originally,
well.
I was like, I don't know about this design. Now I'm like, oh, it's a good design.
Oh, it makes sense now.
And I like the Ace Chemicals design now, too.
I really do.
Because they finally
I was
showed
worried
the
about
Ace
it.
Chemicals
They
thing.
did. They showed it, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what that design comes from. I didn't even know where that design came from. It's crazy.
I almost wanted to wear that shirt
Yeah.
tonight because I was like, I want to pay some homage to that because Ace Chemical's always been around.
yeah, it was
So-
it was in
It was
Jack,
in the very,
the
the very
Jack
first,
Nicholson
yeah, the
movie.
very first
It's
Batman
been in
movie.
comic books.
Yeah.
Ace Chemicals has been in every version of Batman and Joker.
Yeah.
Even in The Dark Knight, they had a little homage, even though he didn't bleach his skin.
Yeah.
I remember when he's blowing up buildings, he walks by and it says Ace Chemicals on the building. I was
Right.
like, yes,
So-
thank you for putting it in there.
So everybody go out and buy an Ace Chemical shirt.
Yes,
And,
please.
Support mixtees.com.
So I guess long story short is we like the movie.
Yeah, I think overall, I mean, I would give
overall.
I would give it like 3.5.
Yeah, I would give it 3.5 stars, which is, by the way, same exact rating we gave to Apocalypse.
You're right.
Good movie. There's their problems? Sure. Is it worth the ticket price? Absolutely.
I think I like this movie better than Apocalypse.
I did too.
Than X-Men Apocalypse.
You know, the thing about Marvel, I like Marvel movies, but the thing about Marvel movies lately is that I'm growing a little tired of trying to keep track.
Yeah, that's tough.
And the thing is, I understand Apocalypse and X-Men are Marvel movies, but because they're not Marvel movies,
Avenger movies.
Avenger movies,
Yeah.
I understand they're not even in the same universe, and they have similar characters. Like they have the same, they both have Quicksilver, they both have Scarlet Witch, and it's just so hard to keep track of what's happening unless I'm watching. I mean, I find myself before the next movie thinking I have to go and actually catch up.
And go watch them again.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's hard. It's hard to keep track. I
And
feel
now-
like with DC, it's a little easier to keep track,
Well, now we got Guardians of the Galaxy,
and they're part of that universe too.
which is part, and they're bringing it together.
Yeah, they're doing Avengers Infinity Wars,
Right.
where the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be with the Avengers.
I don't know how that's going to happen. It's going to be so weird.
Imagine being the poor writer. It's like, all right, listen, guys, 18 movies, go watch them all. We're trying to connect all those into one big one.
Amazing. Yeah, it's going to
Like,
be tough.
sir, it's going to be a part 1, part 2 situation? No, just one movie.
It's one movie.
Keep it under 2 hours. Like,
Yeah.
what? There's 13 characters.
At least. I think there might be more.
I think there's more. I think there's like 27. Like, how do you give them all? I don't know how they're going to do it.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. There's
See, the
gonna
only
be-
way to do it is to make you love the characters in a bunch of movies that aren't the same, and then bring them together into one movie where you don't have to give them screen time.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen? Guardians of the Galaxy folks are going to like cruise in at the end of the movie and have some sort of like big moment, but it'll be like at the end or
Guardians of
something.
the Galaxy 2 is coming out right before Infinity Wars. That's gonna be that's gonna be
gonna
awkward.
I'm actually enjoying. I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I said it back then. Look, if this movie came out right next to Star Wars from 1979, right? If you had I'm not talking about the last 30 years of you loving that movie. Let's say you watch Star Wars for the first time, and you watch Guardians of the Galaxy first time, and you do a direct apples to apples comparison. Okay, they're both amazing movies.
Yeah, they are.
And
That is
I
true.
couldn't say which one was better. They have very similar structures and characters, and I like them both.
Well, yeah, I think you got to edge out Star Wars on that one just because of it paved the way, you know.
Right,
You
that's
don't
what I'm
have
saying.
you don't have
If they didn't pave the way, if you didn't have the history,
Right.
If it was just listen, I'm a Star Wars nut. I love Star Wars. It's my favorite, right? But if they didn't have all those things going on, all the accolades, if it was just a movie compared to a movie, right?
well, the first Star Wars movie isn't the best of the Star Wars movies.
Let's say Empire Strikes Back compared to Guardians of the Galaxy,
Empire Strikes Back.
because history.
No, because
I wish I can clear
That's
your
an
mind.
that's an amazing movie.
And put both those movies on the screen and see which one's better.
you picked Empire. If you'd picked Return of the Jedi, you might have had a winner over there. But
I know.
you picked Empire.
I should have picked Return.
Yeah, it would have been bad. I might have been.
I know. I said Empire because I know you're a diehard Empire
I love
fan.
Empire.
I like Return of the Jedi better.
Yeah,
But by such a small amount.
that's because I'm evil.
Like, if you have to rate the movies, if you have to, because I wouldn't rate the movies. I like all the original Star Wars movies. But if you had to, I'd be like, I guess Return, Empire, like it's literally backwards.
Backwards,
Return,
yeah.
Empire, and then Star Wars.
Okay, Ewoks bothered me. That's the only problem. I got.
See, and like I saw it when I was a kid. I love the
okay, it
Ewoks.
makes
I'm
sense,
now
yeah.
endeared to them. Like
Yeah.
I see them, I'm like, oh, I love the Ewoks.
They remind me of like little chihuahuas you want to kick or something.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, see, it was funny. I remember as a kid watching the Ewoks. I'm like, how did the Ewoks destroy that giant armored car? How's that working out? I remember I'm like 12 years old. I'm like,
I'm not sure you
No.
can do that with a tree.
no, that's not. You can't do that. I'm pretty sure the wooden tree wouldn't destroy the armored car. But hey, you know what? They're Ewoks. They're
That's
cute.
the movies. Yeah.
I remember as a kid having a problem with that.
Yeah, no, good point.
I
Yeah.
would love for these critics, on that note, to go back and like review Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, go back and review it from a fresh perspective. Give it the difficulty and that you're
Yeah.
giving these movies.
Yeah, give
go
it the
back
DC
and take a look
treatment.
at those. Yeah,
Let's see what the Rotten Tomato score
Oh,
is.
I love that you said give it the DC treatment because
Yeah.
it feels like that. I mean,
It really does.
Folks, listen. You go to Rotten Tomatoes and look at that 30% right now for Suicide Squad. Are you kidding me? I mean,
No.
After Earth got like a 27. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, you're telling me that this movie is a couple points better than get out of here.
Yeah, it's really pathetic.
Yeah.
So
So we all sing our praises over Avengers Civil War, but let me tell you something, okay? There's plenty of problems with Avengers Civil War too.
yeah.
And this is not a review on Avengers Civil War, so I'm not going to go through them all. But I could pick out 10 or 15 things that I had a problem with. Character development-wise, plot-wise, narrative-wise.
Every movie has its
Yes,
problems.
I had problems with that movie, but when I walked out, I said I was thoroughly entertained.
Yeah. Did you
And
have a
I
good
think
time?
Captain America is a sissy. I said that because of his just stubborn, unwillingness to sign the stupid accords.
Sign the Accords.
But again, there wouldn't have been a movie if he had. So
yeah,
fine.
you got to do what you got to do.
I love the movie, but were there problems? Yes.
There's
was
problems
the
with
villain
everyone.
was the villain not weak? Yes. There was a lot of issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, love the movie though, and I can pick out those issues and still give a decent rating. I can still say, hey, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 3, 5, whatever. You can't go and watch a DC movie and go, yeah, you know what though? I understand that I looked at the Marvel movie through rose-colored glasses with money-lined pockets or whatever the deal is, and give it an 87 fun time with a few plot holes. Have the same exact reaction to BVS or Suicide Squad saying, too many plot holes, didn't like it, 36.
It's ridiculous.
It's not fair. It's just not fair. You are directly affecting the people that would or would not go see this movie.
Yeah, you are affecting their time, and it's sad that in this day and age that people are looking at Rotten Tomatoes and websites
Yeah.
like that to get their idea of whether they want to go see the movie or not. I mean, I hate that, but people do it, and critics bear some sort of responsibility. And if you're not given,
Absolutely.
let me tell you something. I'm speaking to you critics out there. I guess we're critics too in a way, but I'm saying right now to you people out there who have greater impact on the movie, who have access and are on the Rotten Tomatoes
To
list.
an audience, right.
Listen, make sure you're being honest about the movie.
Oh, yeah, be honest.
Did After Earth deserve its sub 30? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Does
it's a bad movie.
Does Suicide Squad? No.
No.
You
And
want to
just
give
like
it
your hero, Captain America,
if,
dude.
if it got a 60 or a 65, I wouldn't be upset right
No,
now.
I wouldn't either,
But
yeah.
but a 30, come on guys, pull your heads out of your
Not
butts.
fair. Not fair. Yeah, just like your hero, Captain America, be honest. Above all, tell the truth.
Be honest, Captain America.
You're a critic. Above all, your only job is to give your honest opinion.
Wow, what a job, huh?
That's your only job. You are making money and seeing movies for free and having the good life. I mean, not all of you, but some of you. Your only job, the only caveat, the only downside, the only thing that says, listen, we're going to give you all this. We're going to give you the celebrity, we're going to give you the money, and we're going to make sure that you get to see movies for free and you get to talk to people on YouTube or whatever. All you have to do is be honest. Give us your honest opinion without any bias.
Yeah, no bias, and do us a favor, okay? Next time you give your review, go out there and don't say to yourself, you know what? People read more or listen to more reviews when you're trashing a movie than when you're talking good about it.
That's not
You know what? Leave that crap on the table.
Yep.
Okay? Give people the honest truth. Give this movie a chance to make enough money so we can see some more.
Yeah, no, there's the opinion, though. I mean, if you have an opinion that varies from mine, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If you didn't like this part, that's fine, right? But you can't take two movies that have very similar problems score-wise and give one a good score and one a bad score, right? Without appearing to be very biased to that specific studio.
Right. You can't give Marvel 6 or 7 out of 10 and then DC 3 out of 10.
Well, I mean, Thor: A Dark World is sitting at 78% right now.
That's not okay.
That's
sure.
not okay.
I'm just like, okay, whatever. How is that possible?
Yeah, that movie was. That movie has
Chris
so many
Hemsworth.
problems.
Chris Hemsworth, you're a good-looking guy, but what do you do, right?
He's not like a phenomenal actor. He's good for what he's doing. Here's the deal. You know what I liked about Thor: The Dark World? Is that it was a movie I could watch in between two other Marvel movies.
It helped progress the story.
Yes, it progressed. It didn't really do that. No,
It's like what Rogue One's going to do for you.
Didn't really progress the story.
It doesn't even progress the
very
story.
standalone. But it was a movie I can watch in between two other Marvel movies. I'm glad it existed.
Yeah, I don't.
I was entertained to a degree.
I enjoyed it.
Great. But to give it 76 and give Suicide Squad 32, give BVS 46. Come on, get out of here. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really.
I mean, it's obvious bias, and I'm not saying you can't have your own opinion. Please have your own opinion. But shame on you if your opinion is tainted by whatever studio's making the movie.
Exactly. Well said, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shame. Ding, ding, ding. Shame. Ding, ding,
Wear
ding. Shame.
your A on your chest,
Ding, ding,
or whatever.
ding,
That's not an
shame.
A. It would be what? It would be a critic. Your C on your
See,
chest.
Shame. The Game of Thrones reference when she's walking. Shame. Ding, 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 ding. Shame.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, there's problems in the movie, but we like it. There's things I think you'll be able to get by. I think it's worth the price of admission.
Go see it.
3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5. Margot Robbie steals the show. Will Smith is amazing, back to being the Will Smith we all love. Some of the sub characters are just phenomenal.
I would not mind seeing a Deadshot standalone.
No, would not at all.
I would think it would be fantastic.
I would actually love to see that.
Yeah.
Imagine a Deadshot standalone where there was no metahumans.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're done. Go watch the movie. Have fun with it. And next time you hear a review, I would just take it with a grain of salt until you've actually seen it. Take it with a grain of salt.
If you wanted to see it before you knew what the review was, still go see the movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Make yourself go see it.
Now, what about the guys that are on the well, I'm not sure if I want to go to the theaters for this one, and they watch them, and the review is going to sway them either way.
I mean, if they're not sure they're going to go, then they probably shouldn't.
Yeah, just wait, I guess.
Wait. But if you thought you wanted to go and you see the review and you see it's a 30 or a 25 or whatever, so what? Go see it anyways.
I also feel like people will go in there with a super critical eye and not be entertained because they're looking for the problems that they heard from reviews.
Yeah.
Like problems that may or may not even exist. One reviewer said, I don't know why, I don't even know how that guy survived that, in reference to the boomerang shot with the knife.
Okay.
And I'm like, how do you not know how he survived that?
Or wait, who cares?
Yeah, again, who cares?
Right? I mean, I didn't even think about that when I was watching.
There's a reviewer, one of the Collider guys. I was like, I mean, when he got stabbed, he just sort of gets up and is like, I thought that he should have ate it right there. And I'm like, why? Why does it matter?
Why? Yeah. Why is that important?
But even if it does matter,
Well, get out of the weeds.
He pulls the knife and he shows the giant thing of money, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I thought they stabbed the unicorn.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Which is what I kind of thought he was going to pull out the unicorn with a knife in
and
it.
be like, oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah, and be like upset about it. I felt like if anything, they missed
If
something.
you were writing
there.
that movie, you would have wrote stabbing the unicorn.
Yeah,
thing.
because I'm still trying to figure out where the money came from.
Yeah, he was stealing. He was
He was
stealing it on the way.
stealing- I guess he was,
He was like
yeah.
stealing a watch.
Oh,
Remember, he was
that's right,
stealing
yeah.
a bunch of stuff. He's a thief, bro.
But see, that's kind of a miss on DC. They
Yeah,
could have
they coulda used the
used
unicorn
I mean, he's picking the darn thing up the whole time.
yeah, you know what's funny? They could have actually strengthened his character if they showed him like being like upset about the fact that his
The unicorn's
was
dead.
I would have loved that.
It would have been fantastic.
Whatever. It doesn't
See,
matter.
look, we just went into the weeds and we didn't even really think about it. So, hey, Collider guys, your stuff's good too, but stay out of the weeds.
Oh, I love Colliders a lot. I just think you guys overthink a lot of stuff.
Well, that's because, this is the one thing they sit and do, so they're kind of doing
Right.
it.
That's what they're paid to do.
They're paid to
So maybe do it without a
get it done.
bias, huh? How about
Just
that?
do it without bias.
How about that?
If you don't like DC, don't talk about it.
Because you know what frustrates me? What frustrates me the most about it is that some of the people that I respect as reviewers, when they say something, I respect their opinion. I respect their skill. I know they know how to make movies. I know how they know how the industry works. I respect them, and I've been watching them for a long time. Like some of the guys from Collider, and I'm watching them, and I'm seeing them review a Marvel movie and then review a DC movie, and they're criticizing one the same as the other, but they're doing it visceral toward the DC, and they're doing it with rose-colored glasses for the Marvel. And I'm seeing, I can put those reviews side by side, and I'm losing respect for them.
Well, you know what? Okay, so I'm really glad you brought that up because it's almost like being a Republican or a Democrat, right? If you say you're the news and you're going to report facts, but we know you kind of lean one way, Fox, one way, CNN,
Right,
right,
whatever, right.
MSNBC, right, and so you're tainted on what you say,
Right.
and that's kind of what's happening with a lot of these critics. Is they're but guess what, guys? You're not on the Marvel team. You're not on the DC team. You're not anybody's team. You're not. There's no label here.
Your job is to
Your
report
job is
your
to-
opinion,
yeah.
give your opinion without bias.
Yeah. So if you have a bias and you like something, hey, some people are super fans of certain things, and
Yeah,
that's great.
and we're not even DC fanboys.
No,
we
I
like it all.
I
We're
like everything.
nerds. I like all superheroes
Yeah.
equally.
all of them. Give me some Green Lantern.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Green Lantern movie.
Yeah.
By the way, you want to talk trash on DC movie? I'm sorry, but the movie with Ryan, I love Ryan Reynolds, but the DC Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds was horrible.
Okay.
It was not good.
It was not good.
I can't say very many good things about it. I feel like Ryan Reynolds tried really hard to make that movie, and he didn't do badly, but the writing was atrocious.
Yeah, well-
the graphics were weak.
Yeah. So you could destroy.
Villain was
yeah,
bad.
Exactly.
Right. I can talk, and that movie deserves the bad rating it gets.
You're being honest.
Right.
And that's what we want.
Even
from
though I
these people.
love Ryan Reynolds,
love Ryan
I
Reynolds,
love Green Lantern.
love Green Lantern.
There it is. I was disappointed by that movie. I walked up and be like,
Yeah, it's
Sucks.
too bad. And it even hurts a little more when that happens.
yeah, it hurts a little more. Right. All right. Well, that's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. We'd love to hear from you. We want to give them the how they can get a hold of us.
You can find us at mixtease.com/podcast. You can also get us on facebook.com/mixtease, twitter.com/mixtease, instagram.com/mixtease. Really just everything you can find at mixtease.
If you're listening to us on YouTube right now, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment below.
Yep, youtube.com/mixtease. Subscribe, comment, like, share.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, Mixed Tea sometimes throws us some freebies, and we wouldn't mind throwing those at
we
you
like
guys.
the free t-shirts, guys.
Yeah,
okay?
but we need to get some comments going.
We might be the content guys from Mixed Teas, but we don't get very much. Okay?
I don't even get it half the time. It's always you.
Yeah, it's always me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm
It's
like,
because
what about me?
They asked for the address. I gave them my address.
Well, that makes sense.
The thing is,
I'm moving in with you.
we need to get these views up, and if you enjoy it, then help us out and share it so that other people you might think would enjoy it will also enjoy it. You know, we get the likes up, and we can keep operating, because at some point, Mixie's going to be like, no more free t-shirts.
How many subscribers do you have? Okay, when you hit 10,000,
Oh,
come
you
back
got
and see us.
27? Get out of here.
Wait, it's not that bad, is it?
I think it's something like maybe 60 or something.
Oh, okay. We need more subscribers, folks. Let's go. Bring it up.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys.
Next time.
Oh, what movie?
What's next?
What's next? Doctor Strange.
It might be a while before you hear us in the movies.
I think it's September, Doctor Strange.
But we'll have some other stuff in between, though.
Yeah, listen, we're going to come back and do something before the next. I know we've been doing a lot of movie stuff because it's easy for us. We don't have to actually work on content. We just talk
I know,
about
right?
somebody
It's
else's
easy.
content.
Yeah, because, the Wonder Woman trailer came out,
Oh,
and you missed it because you were getting popcorn. But
did I really?
You did. I
Oh,
forgot to tell
man,
you.
are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
It was great. It
That
was it was
sucks.
it was a fantastic trailer.
Well, maybe we should do a podcast where we talk about trailers coming up.
Upcoming stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can also do like we did before. something. TV's coming up.
Oh, we got TV stuff.
Love to talk about the new Flash season.
If you have some suggestions on stuff you'd like to hear
Yeah,
us
let us
talk about,
know.
let us know.
Let us know. Okay, guys. See you guys next time.
We'll catch you next time.
Have a good weekend.